we go, guys.
Hello, hello. This is Girls Trip Radio. I'm Messy Mia.
I am just Janika for now, and tonight we have a special guest. Our special guest tonight is the founder and president of Invisible Inc., which is a leadership development program. He's a person who I am in the process of becoming my life coach. In this short time of us communicating, he has given me so much information, and I believe he'll motivate you guys as well. So I need for you guys to chime in and take heed to this information tonight. Also, he's an author, he's a leader, a trainer. He has 2 books, The Inner Me, and the other one I'm currently reading, Man Enough to Listen. And without further ado, Mr. Herbert Fenner. Yay!
We got Angie.
But I want to thank y'all for having me here today. I'm truly honored, to be here, to have the opportunity to be on you guys' show. I want to congratulate, each and every one of you for a job well done, and I would encourage you to continue, to keep up the good work. You're really inspiring, young black people. A lot of our women, they really need this inspiration. They need to see, what you guys are doing. So I just want to commend you.
Don't let us throw you off the game. Thank you, Mr. Fenner. Thank you. So, tell us a little bit about your background. How did you start to become a life coach? Why did you get interested in it? And what are you doing currently?
Well, actually, at the time, I'm the president and founder of Invisible Inc., Invisible Inc. Leadership Development Program. My company, we specialize in personal and professional development and leadership training. I have a passion, I always had a passion, to add value to people. However, coming up in the inner city of Baltimore, life was not without its struggles. I was one of the ones that, I was rebellious. I was a rebellious youth coming up. I dropped out of high school at the age of 16. I was shot 4 times, left in the alley for dead. At the age of 21, I went to prison and served a 17 and a half year.
Oh, wow.
Federal prison sentence. So my life wasn't, it wasn't without its challenges. It wasn't, without its storms. Pretty much, I became a man in prison. And it was in prison, where I began to redefine myself and begin to work on myself and understand who I was. I came home in 2010, and since being home, I just really had a passion, to just really make a difference. And I started off working within the Baltimore public school system, as a behavior specialist, working with some of our troubled youth, helping to redirect them. And then, in that process, I realized that I was missing something. What I was missing content, because I understand the importance of having, the right information. So I became a member of the John Maxwell team. The John Maxwell organization is the #1 organization in the world in terms of leadership development. Okay. And it was from there, that my growth really took off.
Okay. So when you went to prison, are you going to be all the way clear with what happened when you went to prison? Or is that off limits?
Nothing's off limits here.
Okay, so why did you go to prison?
Well, I went to prison because I sold drugs.
Okay.
I went to prison because I carried guns.
Okay.
I went to prison because I committed crimes. So that's
that's what you go to prison for. But so when you went to prison, when did you take heed to say, look, I need to change my life?
Well,
how long were you in there before you made that decision?
I say it was like within 2 years. 2 years after being, in prison, I was pretty much just having an inward dialogue, and I asked myself a question that I couldn't answer, and that question was, who am I? And I really didn't know who I was, and at that point, I began to reflect on my life and say, I've done a lot of things, however, I still don't know who I am. So it was that question, that began to change my life.
So wow, so after 2 years, after you're in jail for 2 years, prison for 2 years, and you actually ask yourself that question and you figure it out, how does that affect you being in prison for 15 more years after knowing who you were?
Well, I understood at that particular time. I accepted responsibility.
Okay.
You know, it started with me accepting responsibility. You know, for the crimes that I had committed. So I wasn't so much looking at me being incarcerated. You know, I utilized that time as a platform for me to grow and learn. You know, I was a high school dropout. You know, but when I went to prison, I ended up going back to school, get my high school diploma, ended up getting a associate's degree in psychology and social worker, also getting a degree in business administration. You know, and also I wrote 2 books while I was in prison.
Okay.
You know, so I utilized that time wisely, to help develop and help me to become the man that I am today.
So what can you say to our young youth today that followed in your footsteps,
Or
that
currently following.
don't know what to do to come out of the situations that they are in now?
Well, I would first say that it's not worth it. You know, it's really not. It's smoke and mirrors. You know, the lifestyle. You know, they say everything that glitter, isn't gold. You know, it's not worth it. You know, I would encourage our youth, to find someone that's going to invest in them. Encourage our youth to get into a program. To find someone that's going to help instill some values and morals in them. That's going to help take them to the next level. I also let them know, despite all that they have been through, it's not too late for them to rewrite their story. It's not too late for them to turn it all around.
So as a citizen of this city, I'm sick of this city. What advice, because you come from that background, what advice can you give to our local politicians to make this change, to do something that's with this city? Because they keep bringing in different commissioners and nothing is being done. Everything that the last commissioner said, this commissioner said. Report. But if the police is not going to do their jobs, it doesn't matter how much you report, the crime still won't exist.
I'm a firm believer that, everything rises and falls on leadership. That's where it starts at. It begins, with a leader. And understanding what leadership is. Leadership is not management. Management is someone who's tried to get you to do something that you don't want to do. A leader is one who inspires you to do something that you didn't think that you could do. So it's about understanding what leadership is. What is leadership? Leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. Who has the influence? The ones that's out here committing the crime, they has the most influence.
Right.
So they having the most impact because of the influence of which they have. So we need leaders that have influence in the community. We need leaders that understand what leadership is. We need leaders with values and morals. And more than anything, we need leaders who have passion for the people. Because those who is closer to the problem is closer to solution. So we need everyone. You need everyone, to pretty much get involved. We need all hands on deck because it's going to take more than just, the politicians. It's going to take the ones that's close, to the problem. And we are the ones that's close to it.
Right.
Tell us about Invisible Ink. What do you do specifically with your program?
Well, Invisible Ink, we specialize in personal, professional development, and leadership training. We do one-on-one coaching. We do individual and group coaching. I also have a youth mentoring program as well. We do workshops, we do seminars, and really what we do is we help them make a difference, doing something that makes a difference with people who are making a difference at a time that makes a difference. We give people the tools that they need to help them become their best self.
So is there a fee for these tools?
Yes, there is. Yes,
Okay.
there is. And the fee, it varies. It varies. But I believe that the best investment that we can make is in ourselves.
Right.
When I joined the John Maxwell team, and once again, John Maxwell organization is number one in the world. And I understood the importance of having the best content. So I believe that I want to give my people the best, so I have to have the best.
Right.
So when I invested into the John Maxwell team, I invested more than $10,000, probably close to $15,000. But I was investing in me. Not only was I invested in me, but I invest also in my clients.
Right.
So that I'll make sure I'm giving them the best information that they can have so that they can be successful in whatever it is that they're trying to do.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds good. Now, let's get to this book. As I like controversy. But first, we're going to talk about Jess Hilarious and what's going on in this race war. How do y'all feel about what happened with the plane situation?
I think it was very unfortunate. I think it's unfortunate today that our comedians can't be comedians anymore. the minute somebody says something politically incorrect, they want to, call them out and, cancel their shows and, basically blackball them because they're just trying to be funny.
Well, I want to know what happened to the men on the plane because they didn't get on the plane.
Did they get kicked off the plane? Or?
Right. They took them to the back and they never came back.
Okay. So if anybody knows what happened to the men on the plane.
So do anybody know what happened to the men on the plane?
443-61277 because we want to know what happened to the men on the plane.
I want to know what happened to the men on the plane because, I understand
what you mean by can't be a comedian.
Because everything a comedian, they develop their stories off of everyday life. So if they can't sit and make a joke out of serious things, then what's the point of being a comedian? It is none, because being a comedian is everyday life things that you talk about, that you make fun of, that you make jokes about. So when you can't do that, you take their jobs away. I don't want to sit at no comedy show for no talking about nothing serious. I want you to make me laugh, and if I cannot laugh, then I will not come. Period.
That's a good point.
So
what does everybody else think?
So, the three things that I did. I liked about when she came, with her rebuttal to the whole situation was, and that I commend her for, that she was honest about, was the fact that, in all honesty, she was scared. Mm-hmm. And I believe that she was actually scared because, like with me, come on now, with the world, everything that's going on today, when you see, when I'm in my car and I'm black, but when I see like a young guy, somebody with a hood, somebody that come up to my car, I'm hitting my lock button.
Right, because life.
That's because of that's life of what you see. Right. So if she saw somebody with a turban, that could have just, and like you see like bombs. Okay, like the thing that just happened in the Netherlands. Mm-hmm. My sister lives in the Netherlands. They just had a lockdown.
Right.
So that just happened like the day before. Right. So if I seen like something like that, then of course I would probably be scared. Or she would be scared. So that's just like her natural reaction. So I believe her with that. When she said and she said her like her ignorance, like she just and she didn't know how influential that she is of her being a comedian, like how people will follow her and actually follow her.
Now I don't believe that shit because I don't believe that shit
because she just came out there like she's really new on the scene, so you really don't.
Right, it was another video, but it's another video. I don't believe that she. If you was this, the only gripe that I have with her in this is that you say that you did not reach out to a publicist or nothing. If you coming from the heart, you're not reading nothing off of no phone. You coming from the heart.
She might have wrote her thoughts down and
I'm not coming. If I'm coming natural, I'm coming natural. I'm not coming reading off of nothing. I'm coming straight from my heart. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Everybody's different. Everybody don't have the.
But I understand.
To just flow from the top and not feel like they don't sound
true. I understand where she was coming from because I was just in Atlanta and I tell you I was just on a plane. And it was like 5 different guys. They was together and they was from a different nationality. I don't know what, but they were different. And I was sitting there like, what the is they talking about? And they speaking in their language and they sitting separate. And I'm like, they on the phone. I'm like, if they what is that? How the chip was in the air? How was I getting off the plane?
Well, you wasn't that scared.
I was scared. I was because I kept looking around and looking at him like, because I did. You do feel some type of way. The world puts your mind in a place that makes you feel a certain type of way. The same thing that happened with the panhandler and the husband and the daughter that killed the wife. when that happened, everybody started rolling their windows up and not giving panhandlers nothing, because at some point, when you have somebody drill something in your head and say something and it's negative, we gravitate to negativity first before we sit and say, wait a minute, let me see if this made some sense. So I understand her point from that, because I had that experience. I didn't say anything, I didn't say nothing, but I want to know what happened to the men on the plane.
I think what aroused everyone, not the apology, not the joke, it's another video where she's standing at the desk and she's irate. She was like, if I'm fucking scared, I'm fucking scared. Like, if they not on the plane, I'm scared. It is what it is. You don't go tell me how I feel. Like, there's a whole video out there.
Right.
You can tell that she was upset. She was angry. She didn't want him on the plane.
So it wasn't,
and they didn't bring them back to the plane.
It was 3 different videos.
And them videos gone, because I've been looking for them.
She deleted those.
But
this is the part. She deleted the ones that make her really look bad.
That made her look right. That's what I'm saying.
Here's my question. I thought y'all was gonna get to it, but y'all
what?
Didn't get to it. Let's say it was Amy Schumer, right? And let's say that it was 4 black males like y'all kids' ages. And she's like, I'm fucking scared of these.
Nothing would have happened.
No, I'm saying y'all wouldn't have no feeling about that.
Absolutely, we would.
So
of
y'all,
course.
I'm talking about black people.
Yeah.
Yes.
So would y'all be feeling like, the majority of black people would be like, I understand why she was scared, or would they be outraged?
They would be outraged.
They would be
outraged because,
so or not justifiably.
They would be outraged for the simple fact that the world has put in our brains, like I said, they stereotype everyone. Everybody has a stereotype. And I think they came down harder on her because as a black woman, we as black people always get the lower end of the stick. So when something happens,
even
it's
in
always
racial profile, we get
right. Exactly. That's why I'm white.
Here's my point. My point is,
I'm white.
If the police racially profile some guys,
right?
If a white comedian racially profiles some guys, if a black comedian racially profiles some guys,
it's a double standard.
It's all wrong.
It's always a double standard. Well, hold up.
Here's the problem. It's just normally not this way. We're normally the ones being profiled. Right. So we just don't know how to act when we're the profilers. Right. We don't profile that much.
It's unfortunate. But I mean, I understand how she felt.
I don't.
I do because
even the people who didn't get to the plane.
My thing
they
is
were
this.
Sikhs.
My thing is this. I understand where she was mentally because I just had this experience myself. I didn't say anything, but I was sitting there. Right. I was sitting there. No, I don't know what nationality they were.
Sound like
but what I'm saying is, I was sitting there. I don't know. I was sitting there, and because they came in as a clique, they had book bags and they on their phones and they was talking in their language. I felt some kind of way. I truly did, and I was more visual while I was on the plane, because if it's going down, we going down and I'm going to fight.
And it's still unfortunate because white people look at all black people and think we're all black, and you might be African, you might be any kind.
But how people do the same
But it comes back
exactly. So that's why I said it's very unfortunate on both ends of the.
But it comes back to the celebrities that pay for their children to go to college. When you had the black woman Kelly Williams, it goes back. No, it's not. It's the same thing because I want to see what the outcome's going to be. You had a black woman that's only thing she did was use a different address so her child could go to a better school. But you got these celebrities that pay millions and millions of dollars to get their children in Ivy League schools. What I want to know is what's going to be the outcome and repercussions from them, because this black woman got 3 years in jail and a $30,000 fine. Now they paid for shit. They had their kids sitting up in pictures. Right, they had their kids sitting up in pictures as though they were sports people. Like they played the sport. They Photoshop pictures and everything. So I just want to see how
people be doing on Instagram.
True. I just want to see how this plays out when it comes to the black and white thing.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's not gonna be the same.
I hope that it
It's
do
not gonna be
be.
the same. They gonna get a smack.
All
on the
them
wrist.
kids need to be expelled from school. All that college credits needs to be taken. Period. Point blank. Because I can't think of the one woman. Her youngest daughter, or the older one of her kids, she didn't do it, but the other one did. She said, "No, I'm gonna do it the right way." So your kids knew what was going on. They made a conscious decision because they got money and they think they're entitled to shit. No, that's not how it goes. So I just want to see what's going to happen when it comes. Are they going to pull their shows because they got shit out? They got Full House.
I think the actress.
But they
they are gonna have.
It's another movie. It's a movie
Only
out
them
with
know the people that's rich that we don't know. I don't think that's what happened to them. But those people that's high profile,
I think that everybody's name should be said. The same way you about to have cameras in there with R. Kelly, you need to have cameras in there with their ass. Because I want to know what's going to happen.
Ain't nobody gonna watch that though.
I'm going to watch it because I want to know.
There's gonna be no ratings.
I'm going to watch it.
Ain't gonna be no ratings on that. Ain't nobody gonna really watch some white people.
I'm going to watch it. Hey, Tracy. Now, we have Herbert here, and he wrote a book called...
I want to hear our guest view on what we were discussing.
Oh, we don't have a lot of time. We got to roll. But go ahead. Yeah, what you think? Yeah, what you think, Herbert? Since you a life coach.
I mean, my thing is, whatever happens, how are you going to respond? You know, because there's certain things that we just don't have control over.
True.
You know, we argue about a lot of things that we don't have control over, which is injustice. And we know that injustice exists. We know that racism exists.
We got control over it because we need to get our ass out and vote.
And that's what I'm talking about. What are we going to do? You know,
Right.
What are you gonna do? How are you going to respond? You know, I can't control your actions.
Right.
However, I have control over how I respond.
Exactly.
You know, to your actions. So how are you going to respond to it? If they don't, you know, respond in a favorable way that you think they should do, what are you going to do?
Right.
You know, and I think that's the question for us. What are we going to do? How are we going to respond to it? How are we going to deal with it?
Well, we know how we're gonna respond. We're gonna take the social media and put our post up, and then we're gonna go on with our
and
day.
then forget about it.
That's how people respond. So that's why the cycle keep repeating itself over and over and over again, because there's really no true dialogue in what's going on in this society. When you got a president that's grabbing vaginas and just does not seem stable,
after he was
right,
vaginas.
and just does not seem stable. This lets you know what type of country that we are dealing with and the type of people and their mindset. Because I just don't understand how he made president. He got some secrets on some people.
We live in a time where people focus more on problems, you know, than they focus on solutions.
A solution.
You know, we always talk about the problem. You know, what's the problem? What's going on here? What about this? What is the solution to
The
that?
solution is to get his ass out the White House. That's one solution.
So we need to look at solutions.
So now we can transition because we have short on time. Let's talk about your book, Mr. Fenner.
Right. So we have Mr. Herbert here, and he has a book called "Man Enough to Listen." So what do this title mean?
Well, first of all, let me just say that the backdrop about this book. I was inspired to write this book, Man Enough to Listen. Actually, the inspiration came from my mom's. You know, actually, while I was in prison, my moms came to visit me. And during our visit, you know, I asked my mom, I say, I want you to take me back as far as you can, you know, and tell me your life story. You know, and she went all the way back to when she was like 6 years old. You know, she was even able to recall what she had on, you know, a yellow dress, you know, sitting on my great-grandmother's porch. You know, so she took me all the way back, and she brought me all the way up to date, you know, sharing with me her story. You know, and as she shared her story, you know, there was some joy, some pain, some sunshine, and some rain. You know, and at the end of it, you know, I realized that it was her story.
And pain. Sorry, let me stop.
She had a powerful story.
Right.
And one of the things that really moved me in her story is that she was violated. She was sexually, you know, assaulted by, you know, a family member. You know, and my mom, she didn't share that with me until that individual passed away, because she understood the connection that me and that person had. You know, so I thought that was wise on her part, you know, because my mom had forgave.
Right.
You know, she had forgave, and she wanted me, you know, to do the same thing. So, after that conversation, I just began to think about a lot of different women, who were physically, mentally, verbally abused. Then I began to think about men as myself that were culprits, that were the ones that were doing the abusing, whether it's physical, mentally, or emotional. And just thinking, listening to different women sharing their stories, I realized women had a voice, and that we as men, we need to be man enough, to listen. We need to really sit down and be mature enough to hear, what women, have to say, hear, about their story, what they've been through, some of the challenges, the struggles that they had, and be willing to make some changes.
So if you had to pick one passage out of your book, what would it be?
Well, it's a story. It's a story that I talk about. It's about a greedy dog. And it talks
With y'all men.
It talks about how it talks about how this particular dog had stole a piece of meat from a butcher. And he took the meat and he was traveling over this stream. He was crossing a log. He was going over the stream. And as he looked down, in the stream, he seen what appeared to be another dog with another piece of meat. So what he did, as he went to grasp for the other dog's piece of meat, he ended up losing, the meat that he had. So basically, the point is.
So the point is, y'all think it's greener over there, but it's really not.
Exactly.
Cheating asses.
No,
cheating asses. Right. Right.
20 rule is true.
Yeah, we lose the substance.
The 80-20?
80-20, what is your understanding?
Is the 80, well, they say the 80-20 rule is that when men cheat, they have an 80% of what they want at home, and they want the 20%, but the 20% never amounts to what the 80 is at home. So it's the 80-20 rule.
That's not my understanding of it. Okay.
Well, what's your understanding, Janika, of the 80-20 rule? I want to know.
I don't think there is a rule.
What is it?
My understanding of the 80-20 rule is that we always want more than we got at home, and kind of what you said. I'm gonna leave it right there because we got Alzheimer's rapping. I want Mr. Fenner stuff on his book to me.
Okay.
You always want to play.
So this book, the way that the format for this book is pretty much similar to this format right here. Where you have women, different women, who are telling their stories. Then you have one man. Which is basically myself, that's sitting amongst these women, and I'm representing all men. I'm representing all men. So each one of the women, they take turns, and they began to share, what that particular man had done to them. But these women are not victims. These women are survivors. They're overcomers. These women are relentless. These women are, individuals who have bounced back, from some things. And more important, these women are rewriting their story. So they're allowing the individual to know that, okay, you sent me through this, I went through that. However, that right there made me better because I'm not going to give up. I'm going to continue, to live my life. I'm going to continue to be better without you. So this book is very inspiring. It gives people hope. It lets them know that regardless of what you've been through, you can rewrite your story. It's never too late to change characters. It's never too late to switch roles.
Thank you for sharing.
And that brings us to Angie. Right. She has an event coming up April the 6th.
Yes, I have an event coming up April the 6th. It's going to be at Gentleman 10 Club. It's 2135 Emerson Avenue. And the title of my event, which ties into his book, is called Broken Crayon, Still Color. And the reason for my title is that to let you know that no matter what you've been through, whether you've been abused, you've been hurt, whether you're going through anxiety, whatever you're going through, it means that you still can color. No matter if the crayons are broken, a whole crayon or a broken crayon, it still can paint up a beautiful picture. So come out, be encouraged, and watch and listen to these powerful women tell their stories.
Okay, what time it start?
12 to 4.
12 to 4. It's free admission.
We'll be there.
It's $10.
$10. Okay.
Anybody who don't have the $10 to me is gonna pay their way.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me get my independent card.
What?
You take this swipe. You can swipe this orange card, and we gonna work it out.
Well, thank you to our guest, Mr. Fenner, tonight. And
Thank
ladies,
you, guys.
it was a great show. And
And
tonight
we
we're
had-
going to close us out.
Yeah, so remember that I'm trying to be serious. This shit just
Never
don't work.
happened.
Please be serious. Please.
You got an inspirational word?
So, listening tonight, you guys heard a lot of inspirational words, but what you've been through in life is leading to your right now path. So, again, because of what you went through is not who you are. It is only leading you to who you're becoming. And going through situations, I've learned, I never understood it when I went through it. But when I got to the point where I was through it, I was able to help somebody else. So it's always a purpose for your pain.
Yes.
Thank you.
So don't forget Girls Trip Radio, where we give you a whole lot of truth with a dose of reality. All in love. Peace. Till next time. Mwah. So it's either you or her, y'all. Get me out. Get that out of my face so I call. I'm the